Chag Sameach. I'm Gabrielle Boriskin from Lawrence, New York, and this year I'm studying at Midrashet Lindenbaum in Arnona, Yerushalayim. Tonight, I'm going to share an idea from one of my Rebbeim at Lindenbaum, Rav Menachem Liebtag, that he recently presented at a Mishmar. We've always learned that we celebrate Hanukkah on the 25th of Kislev because Chanukah Torah. The Jews rested after their military victory against the Greeks and rededicated the Beit HaMikdash on the 25th of Kislev. However, the story of Hanukkah is not the first time that the 25th of Kislev is a significant date to the Jewish people. 200 years before the Hanukkah story, while the Jews were in exile, under the rule of Koresh, or Cyrus the Great, the Jews were permitted to return to Israel and begin rebuilding the Beit HaMikdash. However, they faced some adversity in doing so. Those who resided in the land were opposed to them returning and rebuilding and made it very difficult for them. Therefore, the Jews had to wait 18 years until the rule of Darius, or Darius the Great, who also permitted them to return to Israel and begin rebuilding the Beit HaMikdash. It was only then, under the rule of Darius, on the 25th of Kislev, that the Jews began to rebuild the Beit HaMikdash. A second instance of the 25th of Kislev in Jewish history is at the beginning of the Chanukah story. It was on the 25th of Kislev, under the reign of Antiochus, that the Greeks desecrated the Beit HaMikdash. And the third instance of the 25th of Kislev is at the end of the Hanukkah story. After the Jews defeated the Greeks, they rededicated the Beit HaMikdash on the 25th of Kislev. My question is, what is so significant about the 25th of Kislev to the Jewish people? Why, after waiting 18 years to build the Beit HaMikdash, did the Jews decide to rebuild the Beit HaMikdash on the 25th of Kislev? And then also, after they defeated the Greeks, why did the Jews also decide to rededicate the Beit HaMikdash on the 25th of Kislev, when not so long before, the Greeks also desecrated the Beit HaMikdash on that same date? What is so special and significant to the Jews about the 25th of Kislev? To answer this, we need a better understanding of the cycle of the moon and the winter solstice. The winter solstice is the shortest day of the year and the longest night. As the winter solstice approaches, the days become increasingly shorter and the nights longer. At the beginning of the month, a few days past Rosh Chodesh are the longest days of the winter month. Following Rosh Chodesh, the moon comes out 45 minutes later every night. This makes the last week of the months the darkest nights of the month, with no moon to illuminate the sky until about 3 or 4 a.m. While the secular winter solstice is usually December 21st or 22nd, the Jewish winter solstice is Kafei Kislev. This last week of Kislev, starting with Kafei Kislev and the first 2 days of Shvat, are the longest and darkest nights of the whole Jewish calendar. When the Jews were deciding, after 18 years, when to start rebuilding the Beit HaMikdash, they specifically wanted to begin rebuilding on the darkest night of the whole year, Kafei Kislev. They wanted to illuminate the darkness with this light and spirituality of the Beit HaMikdash. They had just come out of 18 years of being unable to build, so what better way to overcome symbolic darkness than by bringing light into the physical darkness? Then, even after the Beit HaMikdash was desecrated by the Greeks on the 25th of Kislev, the Jews sought to rededicate the Mikdash on that very same date, to continue to show their perseverance and to bring illumination to those dark days. And now today, we too bring light to these 8 darkest days of the year by lighting our menorahs and bringing illumination to these dark nights. It's no coincidence that Hanukkah falls out on the 8 darkest nights of the year, starting with the darkest of them all, the winter solstice, Kafei Kislev. Through lighting our menorahs, we become an Or LaGoyim, a light upon the nations, illuminating thousands of years of Jewish history on the 25th of Kislev, that led us to this point, to be lighting our menorahs, inspiring hope, persevering, and looking to the bright, luminous future. Wishing you all a Hanukkah Sameach.